Hi there guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome back to my channel guys. It's been a while since I've made a video. I think it's about a week or so. I've just been relaxing a bit. Actually been very busy lately and just didn't have much time for recording and all that type of stuff, And also you need a good few topics to make a nice video, so and I'm running out of nice topics in any way. But anyway, we try our best, guys. But thank you so much for joining in and watching, guys. Something very exciting has happened. A guy has contacted me and asked me to convert this map. It's called Durango. Now, if you guys recall, Durango is like this sort of a Western theme type map with a desert and whatever there somewhere in America. I think it looks like that in the desert with the pillars and that somewhere in America. I recall seeing those type of things. And if you know the map, Estancia La Pacio, I hope I didn't kill the name there. That map also had this reddish ground, So it's going to be a fun map to convert. And I thought I'll take you guys along for the ride. Now bear in mind, this is not for commercial or public use. It's for private use. I'm doing this for a guy that asked me to do it. And so yeah, if you want to get sort of more info on the project, just contact me via email, because it's going to be for private use. So yeah, if you're interested, just contact me. I'll send you all the details and stuff. And obviously I'm going to make a whole video series on the conversion. I've just finished my series on, or finished my map, the Nevada, South Africa map that I've made for FS19. I've finished converting that, and I've done a whole series on that. But this one, I thought it might be nice to take you guys along for the ride, because there might be stuff that that is in here that wasn't in the previous map conversion, So yeah, like I say, drop me an email if you're interested in the map. And if you want to sort of have more info or whatever, just follow along on the videos, because we're going to make a series on it. Now, what I normally do with the map, any FS19 map, is I normally just take the normal editor in-game and try and convert it normally. It never works, guys. I don't know why the Giants guys even bother having a map converter or a mod converter, because it doesn't work, It always have problems and it doesn't work. It's just... It's more of a schlep to try and fix all the bugs they give you than to just redo the whole map, Now, this process of converting a map can take you anything from roughly about 40 hours and more. That's excluding testing. Testing is about a 20-hour job to test, to test all the cell points, test all the physics in the map, and the sowing and the reaping and everything else, farmlands and contracts and everything. So it takes about 20 hours to test the map properly. So I estimate this will be about a 40-hour job for the guy who asked me to convert it, and then about a 20-hour job to do the testing, and fix the bugs and all kinds of stuff that's out of there. So yeah, welcome guys, for the second time I think I'm saying that. And if this is your first time on my channel, a warm welcome to you. Do remember to subscribe. It does help my channel grow. And if you're interested in map making, you're in the right spot. You definitely won't feel alone. There's only map makers and guys that are enthusiasts and wanting to map maps is on my channel, So, and also on my Discord. And if there's a comment, just drop a comment or whatever. I do try and get to everything as I have time, Great, man. So sit back and relax with me, and we're going to go through the whole process. And this time around, I'm going to do like a full-on long, decent video, So sit back and watch with me, and we're going to do everything step by step to try and make the process a bit more easier, to understand and what to do. All right, so I've just opened it in the editor just to have a show around of what the map looks like. And what I normally then do is I'll close the map now at this time, and then we will have a look at my start map. So this is a 4x map. Oh, now I've lost the spot for it. I think it was on the desktop under Durango. There it is. There's the FS19 version. So what you do is you open the map XML. Now this is called Durango.xml. So obviously that will be the map XML, and have a look at the width and the height. there. So it's a 4 times map, 4 kilometer map rather. Luckily, the kilometer size of a 4 times map and the times map is the same, you know, because a 4 kilometer map is a 4 times map. It's not the same with the 8 kilometer map. An 8 kilometer map is actually a 16 times map, you know. So yeah, it just happens to be that the 4 times map works out nicely with the multiplication. All right. Okay, so what we want to do is have a quick browse then now at the size of the map is first, and then what we're going to do is grab one of my start maps. I'm going to go for my 4 times start map, and what's nice is that already has multi-fruit in it. Now Durango, if I recall, yeah, it's got some foliage, grass dry and grass SA and dry bush. All right, so there's some foliage there to include into our package, and we're going to probably have to bring that in as well. So it's going to be interesting, like I say. There's some dry grass as well as grass SA. I wonder what is the difference between these things. Grass dry diffuse. Let's just open this up and see what it sort of, just get an idea of it. But it's the same as the FS22 one. It just looks a little bit drier than, that's probably why it's called dry grass, you know. The FS22 one is green, and this one is dry. So obviously for the climate, I suppose the guy modified it a little bit. And then grass SA, sorry, I wanted to open the diffuse for it to just get an idea. Grass SA. Now this now looks more like the same one, but it's greener, so it looks like the normal in-game one. So I don't know why it's got two, but anyway, not to worry. Sorry, I keep on opening the wrong thing. Bush diffuse. Yeah, you see, this is the dry bush. All right. So it's the normal in-game bush, but just a little bit dried out. So it changed the colors and that on the normal the bush diffuse, and obviously made an i3D with some stages or sizes of bush. I suppose there will be a few sizes just to have a look. If we open the bush, you'll see the sizes and the stages, or rather just the different sizes. Let's have a look there. Yeah, they to me look pretty much the same, but anyway. Okay, so first things first, let's grab a starter map, and that will be under my maps backups, FS22, and I've got a start map for X. I've got that one there. That's the one with clover only. Yeah, I think this is the one. This must be the one. Yeah, it's got the multi-fruit in it already. And I think in this one I've got about 7 multi-fruits, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one has got 10, but I don't think I've got all of them in there, but we'll see. Let's just not worry about that now. So what I normally do is copy this immediately, copy it straight into my mods directory, because I work out of my mods directory, guys. That's your first tip that I can give you. Have I already got it here? Let me just replace it all, because don't want to mess around. So what's going to happen is I work straight out of my mods directory, so that I don't have to come copy stuff back in here or zip it, and I leave my map unzipped, guys. First tip for you there, do not zip your map, leave it unzipped until you're fully done with it. Then you can zip it and upload it, you know. So don't zip your map every time, just leave it unzipped, because you can play it, you can full-time play it with it unzipped. The zipped format is only for multiplayer. So for single player, you don't need a zip map, and a zip mod for that matter as well. Okay, because a map in your mods folder is actually a mod. If you follow my drift, it's actually a mod. It's called, that's why it's called the mod map, you know. So it's actually a mod. So anyways, now that we have this here, so the very first thing we want to now just have a look at this map of mine, if it's error free, because now I've opened it in 822, which is wrong. Let me just close that up. I hope it shouldn't open it up. Come, stop. We don't want to open it in 822. You will definitely have a heart attack. Okay, here we go. 4 times, double click, and please do just select 904. I'm having some coffee in the background, guys. Get yourself something to drink, something nice. Sit back. We're going to get there soon. So the next thing we want to do is obviously look at the start map. Make sure you use a start map that does not have errors in it. Now, if you take any of my start maps and you drop it on the test runner app, you will find errors, because I'm talking about game errors. None of my start maps, I think most of them has got test runner errors. I mean, if you take an old FS22 map, FS19 map that has been approved for mod-up, and you put it on the new test runner, it will have errors as well, because the stuff has changed, you know. So yeah, you can never keep up with the times. That's why I'm not fussed. If you want to fix my maps, just put it on test runner and fix all the errors. But you just to be warned, don't expect support from me. I just don't have time for that, guys, really. If you want to fix the errors, you're welcome. I don't know if there is errors. I've never tested it. I don't bother with that. I just know my maps are error free. So let's just put our money where our mouths are. Let's open this up. Have a browse here. It should be error free in the editor, which it is. There's our extra fruits in there, no problem. It's loaded up nicely. And then save changes. Nope, we don't want to save. And then let's just open it up. This is my 4x map. So let's just quickly test it in the game to see. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more now about my start maps. Most of them though anyways. So career in there. And then now we just need to scroll through these boys. Name your map here. I think it's this one. It's not the 16. This is definitely it. Start. It's got this picture for a what do you call it? Overview. So no, that's the preview. Sorry. Preview. Yep, there it is. Okay, so it is the right map. I just wanted to make sure that we don't start the other. I know the 16 times map is I've named it and everything, you know, so it will say 16 times start map. But this one, it's an old map that I've done long ago, you know. So here we go. All right, so here we are on the start map. Very nice and flat, and you will see there's a lot of stuff in the map already. It's little placeables, and the vehicles are there. Everything. But what I wanted to check is the log. That warning there is from auto drive, and then we want to make sure that there's no errors or serious stuff. There is one error from giants which normally are there, which is that one there is the meadow. Now I'll show you quickly how to fix that. It's not a bigger. You can leave it as is because it's just a warning. It's a standard game error. You'll find that on the and it's only on the US map that you get this error with the cut the meadow, because it's only that one that has that error. I hope I'm not talking trash now, but if I recall correctly, and I think there was one more game error, which is no, those are just because I've didn't zip it. You will get this warning when you're in there that your map is unzipped and you can't. Only zip mods are supported. Only zip mods are supported in multiplayer. You see, it's just a warning. So like I say, the map will function 100% without being zipped, and it will not be a problem for you to work. And now we're going to directly work on the map in the mods folder, which is awesome. So you don't have to put it in and out of the mods folder again, you know. So there it is. Okay, so the very first thing we want to do, or what I normally do, is bring over the height file, the dem file. All right, so that gives us some height already, and then we're going to do all the stuff in the data folder. But before we get into that, I just want to show you my placeables. I've got a folder in all my start maps called Placeables, and in this Placeables folder is a lot of placeables for you already set up for you to use. Now these things are not set up, they're just placeables that's lying here for use. So if you want to make use of one of those, you have to import it into the maps i3D. You see, so that makes your life more easier, that you don't have to go search for placeables. I've got everything here that the game needs in every start map of mine, so you can just open it up. For instance, the animal trader, There's an animal trader area and an animal trader. So they are different. The area has got a lot of extra stuff like fences and signs and all kinds of stuff around it. So if you just open that placeable, you will find it there. Look at that. How beautiful is that? And you just place it in your game. It comes with signs, fencing, the whole lot. It's job well done, already set up for you. You just import it into your map, delete the whole thing once you're done. So once you've imported into your map, you can actually delete this folder, because this i3D is from the in-game. All these placeables are in-game stuff. So once you've imported it, it sort of gets absorbed into your map i3D. Then you can delete this whole folder with all the placeables. All right. So what I'm going to do in this case, because we are converting a map, I'm just going to rename this to Placeables New, because I'm going to have another Placeables folder, obviously, for the map stuff. And I don't want to confuse the two, you know. So there you go. So now we have two. The one with my actual placeables for the map, and then I've got one with all the placeables if I need any of that. All right. These are very handy, guys. It saves you hours and hours of work. So all you need to do now, for instance, at the animal trader, is bring your trigger in. So import the trigger R3D, which the XML calls, and then you've got a full working animal dealer, you know, that type of stuff. In fact, the animal dealer doesn't have a trigger to import. It's already in your map, the animal dealer. Normally, if you have a map, it should have an animal dealer in it, because it's actually a hotspot, you know. But the braille trigger, obviously, at the animal dealer is not. That needs to be imported. But anyway, I'm digressing from the job at hand. Good. All right, guys. So let us move back to the map. So what I'm doing now is I've got the map on this side, the actual one that we're working on, and I think it might be a good idea at this stage to rename it. So we're just going to call this Durango. And I think let's do it FS22 underscore. So it's like that, and then all set up and nice, you see. All right, so there you go. Now it's called Durango. Easy as that. We're going to go to the Moddesc and obviously put our name in there and put all the stuff in there that needs to be there. But that's later on in the map. We'll set it up properly. Mind you, we can actually do it now. Doesn't matter. So what we'll do in this case is go to the FS19 map. Open that up. I just want to see, why do I have two folders here? I can actually close this one because I like to have it in the same tab. So it's a quick to and fro here between FS22 and FS19. You see that way you can quickly and easily sort it out. All right, so here's the Moddesc. Good. So now we have Durango's, the FS19 Moddesc here, and we have the FS22 Durango's Moddesc there. So in here, I'm going to put my name, which is Farmer Bob. Farmer Bob. Now, this is not my map, guys, but it's for private use, and it's not for public use. So this is going to go to one guy who has paid me to convert the map for him, and that is where it's going to stay, you know. But like I said, if you want to get involved in the project and also want the map, just drop me an email. We can talk about it, you see. So it's for private use, guys. It's not for you to put up to any other server and upload and share it with other people on the net, because it's actually not my map. All right, so with any map, you need the map creator's permission to convert it and use it for public use, you know. So I haven't contacted the owner of the map, because it's not necessary if it's for private use. But if I wanted to take this up and set it out onto public use, I will have to contact the guy, you know. So what I'll do in the meantime is I will find out who this creator is, and then I will give him an email and let him know that I'm converting his map for some people privately, you know, which is totally legal. It's not illegal. There's nothing, no problem with that. All right. Anyway, just wanted to get that out of the way. The name of your map here. So I'm just going to call this Durango FS22. Oh, let's just make that a capital S. That should be fine. Durango FS22, like so. Alright, so what I do then is I copy this, Control C, and normally on the German you will want to give it a German name, but I don't know what's German for Durango, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then a description and all that, name of your map here. I'm just going to put the same thing in here, Control V, mod map US, Control V. As you can see there, it's a US mod map that I've made this from. Oh yes, and the name of your map here, Control V. Okay, I think that's about it. That's about it. Alright, so now also what we want to do, so we've done the Moddesc now. I'll write a description for it later on, and the description comes in two places. It's in here in the map section as well as the actual Moddesc section here on top. Alright, so let's just leave it in there. It's already at 72, I believe. I think it's 74 the latest. I'll check that up for the desk version, which doesn't matter. Look at where the desk version used to be. 43, my word, we're already in the 70s. Crazy. And do change your map name, guys, because believe me, if you leave everything as is in the FS19 version, say for instance Durango gets converted in 2 years or whatever, or the owner of the map or the creator of the map does it, he will put his own stuff in there and it might overwrite yours and then update it, and then whoop, gone is your map, you know. So that's why I changed the name and I put author and the title and author, and I've changed the version also is very important. This is version 1. Because I've changed the name, it doesn't matter. But if you leave the title the same, you need to change the version to something like 20 or whatever, which you will never reach, you know. So but anyway, otherwise the auto update of Farming Simulator might update it if you because it updates the mods, you know, in the background, unless your settings maybe are set not to auto update, you know. But anyway, yeah, or the actually by default I think it is off, so it doesn't really matter. But it is something that's happened with a few guys already, is they've taken another map maker's map, changed it a little bit, add their own stuff, make the map their own, which is totally legal. There's nothing wrong with it. And when they got in game, they unfortunately clicked on update, and it updated the map to a newer version, and whoop, gone is all the changes, you know. It happens, guys. It happens, believe me. Alright, so we'll come back to this later on. So that's our first order of this business, is that Moddesc all done and dusted. Now, let's get to the fun stuff. I want to do the data folder. So FS19 Durango, we're going to go into the map DU in this case and find our, here's the actual PDA as well. Now the PDA is easy, we can just copy that over. Let's just do that now while we're at it. And in FS22 it's not called a PDA anymore, it's an overview. So all we do is I've copied that in here, take this, Control C, copy that name, that's a DDS image, and then select it again, delete the old overview. Let's rename this one, Control V, like so. And now what we're going to have to do, because the new overview has got a border and the old one doesn't have a border. So what we need to do now is take an overview from the in-game folders. So let's just open a new tab, go to FS22. Sorry, I'm digressing now. I wanted to do the height file, but I'm sort of doing the overview now already. So we're taking one thing at a time, guys. Sorry for that. So we're going to go to the data folder in your installation directory, not the one in your documents folder. All right, so data. I think it is under, sorry, it's not in data. I think it's under SDK. If you open the SDK, maps, map US, icon preview, maps, map US overview. There's the overview. There it is. There you have a blank overview. You see, so you need a blank overview so that you can paste that the current overview in there, you know. So what we're going to do now is go to our Durango. So we've opened this one here under map US in the SDK folder. All right, and we're going to open the actual overview from Durango, like so. So now we've got two here on top. The one that we want, and this one here, the Durango one, which is the right size. It is 4096, all right? And this one is also 4096. So what we need to do is take this one, resize it. So we're going to go image, resize. I think it's resize. And when we're going to go 2050. Now, normally your center will be 2048, but in this case, we're going to make it 2050. So we're going to half it and then just click OK like that and see what it looks like. And then you're going to just don't click anywhere, just press Control and C to copy it. Go to this map, Control and V to paste it. And now, without doing anything else, just drag it and make sure you place it precisely over that red square. There mustn't be a little line on the edges of red. Once you've eliminated all the little red lines, top and bottom and left and right, then you are set. So leave your mouse, press escape once. If you don't see any red, you are fine. Otherwise, press Control and Z and undo, and then just paste it again and move it into the center square. Alright, so now we've done that. What we do now is grab the brush. We're going to set up a brush size, maybe about 50. Nah, too small. Let's make it like 350. Yeah, that's better. Grab it, drop it. Grab this gray here on the thing. Click with the dropper tool. Go back to the brush, still 350, and you just paint over that thing there. Alright, if you want a background or a border that is maybe an image, you will reverse this process, and first what you will do then is make a new layer like so. Alright, and then you will paste the border over the whole. So the border must be 4096. So then the whole image is there, and then you paste that thing in the center of that. But first paste that in the center, and then paste the border on this layer, the empty layer. All right, and then all you do is you take this one and you set it to move one layer up. You see, like that, and then the center one will appear. Bloop, and it will pop out, and the border will be in the back. All right, so that is the way you do that. All right, so what I want to do is just delete that extra layer, and then all we do is save, leave it as DXT3 with perceptual, and generate maps, and click OK, and all is well, guys. Your overlay is done. Simple and easy, and don't save anything else. All right, so if you now open, oh my gosh, did I overwrite my in-game one just now? Oh my word. Okay, so I'm gonna have to replace my in-game one. So what I've done now, guys, out of my stupidity and not thinking, is I've overwritten this overview now with Durango. So all I need to do is copy this. I'll fix it. It's so simple and easy to fix, so it doesn't matter. It won't affect my game because the DL's SDK is part of development, you know, so it's for development stuff. And I'll just rewrite this thing here. Good. All right. I'm supposed to, when I say save, click File, Save As, and then go back to your map directory, and then just overwrite your existing overview file, and then it will look like this. Right. So that's all done. So now, can we now try and get to our height file, our dim? Here it is. Our dim file is 2049. That it's always 1 pixel bigger than the norm of 2048 of the other layers of your dim. So or the info layers and that. Mind you, they might also be 4096. But anyway, this one is 2049. So it's always 1 pixel bigger. So we copy that. Doop. Just like that, and then go to Durango, and the data will be our new maps structure or thingamabob, and there's the dim there. You can see it's empty. So we're going to go Control V to paste it, and take this name here. So I click slowly, 2 clicks, 1 click, and then wait 2 seconds and click again, and I just go Control C, And then once I've done that, I click on something else, come back to this one, press delete, like so, and then click on this one again, 2 slow clicks and Control and V, and there you are. Now why I do that is I keep this new maps file hierarchy in place. I don't change the name because otherwise the dem will not be found. Now your map dem is called as map dem in this map, but on this one it's called as map du underscore dem. You see, so we have to sort of adapt the old stuff into the new. All right, now let's just for fun open the map now, because now we're going to immediately see a huge change in the scenery, you know, or in the map's topography is what I wanted to say. Right, so we should have some stuff happening now. Great, I love it. Always exciting, you know, always exciting. And there you are, guys. Look at that. The dem is in place. We have successfully brought actually just the height data over. So all the whole height data is there, but our terrain is still far from ready. But you can see at least stuff is happening, you know. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you, there's some textures on, or that this is the textures that's available in this start map of mine. And then also I have here, that's a whole, here it is, some trees which, and some signs. There's some trees and some signs. That's some icons. Don't worry about the icons, we'll get to them later. And I've somewhere at the start point had a whole set of deco. You can actually just go to the deco, any of the decos. There's a whole set of decos here for you to toy with. Oh, they're underground now. That's why we don't see them anymore. They're hidden underground. So there's a whole stuff for you to play with, you know, and decorate your map with. Alright, so but we're not going to use that in this case. So the trees and the deco I can just get rid of, like so. And let's just save our map and then carry on. So now that we have all the height data in the map, we want to now start looking at all the weight files. Now how the weight files work, guys, I've explained this to guys many times. All the weight files here forms one layer, one thin, like a film over your map surface. It's called the terrain layer. Now the terrain layer is seen if you go to your map i3D, edit it with Notepad++ or open with Notepad++. And if you now go to Control F and you say, I'm just going to go multi-lay, because at multi-lay it will take you to your foliage system. And then just above your foliage system, you're going to find your terrain stuff. There's terrain detail. All right. And then if we go up a little bit more, that's our farmland. Here's all our textures for the ground, concrete, gravel, all that stuff. Terrain transform group. Here it is. Now this is your actual terrain, that tiny layer that I was talking about. And this layer of terrain has got one layer on it, which is made up of all the textures, not the ground textures, not your foliage. The foliage is on top of that layer. And everything else is on top of that layer. So this layer is called the terrain, and this transform group is in your i3D. It's called terrain in the i3D as well. And here you can see the whole terrain layer. Alright, so we're going to, for now, just go back here into our data folder and have a look. We're going to work these in sets. So beach sand 01, for instance, to beach sand 04. So we're going to take all the beach sands and have a look at what is in our map. Alright, so find beach sand. So there's beach sand wet. So we don't have a beach sand. Alright, so unfortunately we don't have a beach sand, which is a problem because obviously now we don't have a weight for it. So what I normally do in this case, I can import a texture add a texture for beach sand, or I can rename that beach sand if it doesn't have beach sand wet. This is just beach sand, so there's no other beach sand. So we know that unfortunately I don't like the beach sand wet because it's got a gloss to it, you know. So I want to go just for the normal beach sand. So I think let us drag in normal beach sand into the thing. I'm going to show you the process how to do that, and I think by the end of that, once we've done beach sand, I think it will be probably enough data for or time for one video, you know. So let's add a beach sand to this map, because we might get to another texture that we also need to do, and then I can skip that, you know, so that we don't spend too much time doing the same thing over and over, you know. One of each is enough. Enough is enough, you know. Good stuff. So what I'm going to do, I think in my map stuff, let me just see where I have texture files, terrain stuff, texture packs. I think it's in here. Ground textures. There's weights and textures. All right, textures. So I have paving stones. What's in here? No, that's not it. I did definitely have terrain stuff. Let me just have a look. Converted. Here we go. FS19 ground textures converted. That other texture pack was FS22 textures, but here it is. Here's my ground textures converted from FS19 pack. Now we'll find beach sand in here now. You need 8 files for any weight set, because there's 4 weights and each weight is connected to one of the textures. So, and each texture has got a diffuse and a normal for it. So we're going to go for beach sand up to beach sand 04. Copy those guys. There you go. Control C. All right. So we copy these 8 textures, and now we have to go back to our new map, and in here we're gonna have to make a textures folder. As you can see, we already have some textures, terrain in here. Okay, Control V. So we're gonna add them in here. So these are all nicely and neatly converted from FS19 into FS22 already. Now my question is 1.3 meg. Yeah, they should all be 1.3 meg exactly, 1.33 to be exact. In fact, if you go properties on it, if your texture is anything different, then it is 9.33 exactly, the size. You will find that it doesn't work. It's 1.33, man. Sorry, what was that? 9.33 now. Doesn't matter. All right. So what we're going to do now that we have the textures, remember your textures are pulled in via your maps i3D file. So we're going to go to our maps i3D file now, and we're going to have to add beach sand to it. Now I'm going to try and remember which map of mine has had beach sand already, so I can show you how to do that. You can obviously take any line inside. In fact, let's do that, because if you don't have, but you can download my map, man. You can download all my maps for free. Let us have a look. I think it was yes, I think it was software maps backups FS22. I think it was Western Australia that has got beach sand. Let's have a quick browse. Textures, terrain. Yeah, it's got beach sand. Alright, so you can grab it here. So download my Western Australia 4x1. The 4x1 has got it. I'm not too sure of the 2x1 or the console one, but anyway, if you're in console, you won't be bothered about map making, because you need a PC to make a map. So why would you play console then? Great, so what we're going to do is open with Notepad++, the i3D file, and obviously, first of all, Control F and search for beach sand, like so. And there's beach sand. So there's 3 sets that you need to copy. The first one is the weight file. So we're going to copy beach sand 01 to 04. Remember, each weight has got two texture files to it, a normal and a diffuse. All right, so that's why you've got 8 texture files. So we copy that 4, Control C, and we're going to go to our FS22 Durango R3D, right to the top of the file IDs. Press enter a few times, press the home button, and press Control and V for Victor, and it will paste it in there. Now, because this numbers is part of your map, the IDs, you want to add some zeros to the IDs, because the IDs here needs to be above the highest ID in your map i3D, because you can't, it's going to clash with other stuff if you don't have a higher number here. So we want unique numbers for these 4 weights. It mustn't be like any other ID in the file ID section. All right, so it's very important. So now that we've got that, we're going to go back to beach sand and find our 8 texture files, and there they are. So you need 8 texture files. There they are, beach sand 1, 2, 3 and 4. Remember, we copied them over to the map directory. We copy that back into the map i3D. Once again, make a space, press the home button, Control and V, paste it in there, and once again here add your zeros. So 2 zeros. What I normally do, just to make sure that you've got a unique number, is just scroll through your file ID section, because sometimes you work in a map with 200 million placeables and stuff in it, and it has a huge repository of file IDs. In my case, you can see they're all in the hundreds, so it's a tiny amount of stuff in the map, you know. So I know 38,000 will be totally far above any number in my ID system. So just make unique IDs there. I just normally put 2 zeros in front of the name, in front or at the end of the numbers that's already there, because I'll show you now why. It just makes life easy, you know. Now we're going to go to beach sand for the next section. This is the 3rd one. Oh, that's wet. We don't want wet. We want there. All right. So now in our multi-layer section, remember the layers above where your terrain transform group is? Then you got your layers, and these are your texture files. All right, so your beach sand is going to be in here. So just search for it, and there will be 4 of them. So you'll have 4 layers for, or 4, because you've got 4 weight files, you've got 4 beach sand wet. That's not, I just want the ones beach sand, not beach sand wet. That's the 4 I need. So I'll copy those, Control C, and because I'm working out of the same map, you'll see the detail map ID is the diffuse map, the normal map ID is the normal map ID, and the weight map is already there as well. So you need that 3 sections to complete your layer in the terrain. Okay, so we're going to go back here, and now we're going to go to search and type in multi-lay, and then scroll up here up to our terrain multi-layer, and at the last layer there where beach sand wet is, we're going to add the beach sand in there. So don't add it on top. I've seen in your editor, always add things at the bottom. Don't add it on top, except for the file ID system, because the computer is going to rearrange our file IDs anyway. It doesn't matter the file IDs, but when you start working in the layers, these things are sensitive sometimes. I'm not too sure of these, but as a rule, always go to the bottom of whatever you're busy with, add it in there, you know. So these are 4 beach sands. And now, because we've changed on top, we've changed and added zeros to that 3 sets, we have to add the zeros here too. So the detail map IDs need 2 zeros each, like so. The normal maps we've added zeros. I'm sure we didn't do all of them. And our weight maps have zeros as well. Be very sure not to add extra stuff here. Do not delete even a space, guys. Do not add a comma or anything else, because you will mess up your i3D and you will not know what the problem is if even you just delete a space somewhere, you know. It's crazy. All right, so we've got that and this. So we've got our weights, we've got our diffusers, and we've got our textures. Oh, we also need the multi-layer. There is under the combined layer, not multi-layer, the combined layer, you'll find beach sand as well. So we need to copy the combined layer as well. Now what this one does, guys, go back this way. Go multi-layer, go up here. Combined layer. So at the bottom of combined layers, we're going to add our beach sand in there, like so. Great. When I'm talking about a space between stuff, like between lines, you can add space. It doesn't matter. There will, like, I can add 3 spaces here or 4 spaces. It won't make a difference. But do not add the space here in the thing like that, like somewhere like there. You know, that will cause a problem. Like I say, be very careful editing your XMLs, your i3Ds, anything with text in it. It's a problem if you just add the wrong stuff in there, you know. Now what the combined layer does is it takes the 4 weight files of the 4 beach sands and combines it into one layer, which is, well, I say 4 weight files. It's actually not it's actually not 4 weight files, but it is 4 sands that combines into one layer, so that you don't have so you have some randomness in game. I'll show you later on, if I remember, inside to show you what I mean with that. Alright, so here we go. So save the i3D, leave it open, because if you close this, your changes is permanent. Then you can't use Control Z to undo if you've made a mistake. Alright, so what we're going to do now is go Western Australia. We've finished. I can close that. This one for now I'm going to leave open. We want to go to our map, the new map, open the i3D, and just have a browse first to see if beach sand is in there. Now I will suggest add all your, oh, we haven't added the weights. Ah, my word, I forgot. We have to have 4 blank weights. In this case, we can copy the beach sand weights in there, because it's going to give an error now that the weights aren't found, you know. And there you go, I've already closed it. So what we need to go in here is grab the 4 beach sands, copy that, Control C, into Durango, and let's just hope that the weights are the same size. So let's go Data, Control V, paste them in here. Alright, so there we have 4 beach sands. Alright, so now we're going to now quickly have a look. I'm just thinking now, if you add weights like this and you save your map, you see this weight has got data in it, but this weight is full on grasses all over the map, so it's going to overwrite that one. So you're going to have some blank weights if you do it this way. So what I'm going to need to do is first get rid of all the grass. Get rid of all the grass. I think the easiest way now will be to take blank weights, forest ground, Shift 04, and a lot of guys don't understand this, because these weights, all the places where that beach sand is marked on this weight, where the beach sand occurs, must be blank on this one. You see, because now currently this one is overwriting that one, so it's going to be a problem. So what I'm going to do to solve this is I'm going to copy this over just like that. So I have 4 new blank grounds, and we're going to take grass 01, Control C, we copy that name, and take the first forest ground 01 and just overwrite grass. Oh, sorry, I first have to delete that grass weight, grass 01, and then overwrite this one. So this one, the blank weight now becomes grass 01, you see. Now we take grass 02, Control C, copy that, delete it, and go to forest ground 02 weight, copy. Okay, overwrite it. So now we have grass 02 weight, and we just do that on all 4 of them. Copy that, delete 03, Control V, like so, and then last one And this way now, what happens now is you have now 4 new blank weights for for grass, and the only weight that has got anything in it is beach sand. All right, so I can now open my map and save it, and I will see beach sand at the right spots. But if the grass, if there was anything else, I would have had a problem. That's why it's advisable to first just add all the textures and then the weights, and then only open and save the map. Because if you open and save before that, you're going to lose your weights. But I suppose once you've done everything, you can always just copy the weights back over, you know, from the original. But yeah, time will tell if we can even have no errors now, because I haven't checked if the weight from the FS19 and the FS22 map are the same size. But we will get an error that the weights aren't the same size, you know. So we'll see just now. If that is the case, we just have to enlarge them, which is a lot of work, but I'm glad to show you, you know. So first of all, whenever you've done changes to your i3D, open up, have a look for errors. Terrain beach sand 04 normal couldn't be loaded. Did I miss one somewhere? Beach sand 04 could not be loaded. Okay, so this is now nice, guys, because what's going to happen now is I can now close the map without saving it. Because if you save it, your changes are permanent. And this, just have a look. What did it say there now? The log was beach sand. The normal, one of the things could not be loaded. One of the textures. Did I miss a texture? Did I miss a texture somewhere? Oh, no wonder. We never changed the directory, guys. It's under textures terrain now. Very important in the map i3D. Right on top where your weights and stuff are. In here, you have to make sure that the directories are correct. I forgot that. My word. That's why it's good not to save or not to close. Okay, so let's just verify the directories to beach sand 01. Okay, so we have our 4 weights that we need to verify directories for. So Durango, data, and we have the 4 weights for it. Beach sand, which should be here. There's the 4 weights. All right, so that 4 weights should be fine because it's under data and then beach sand. But our textures is under textures terrain beach sand 01. All right, so that's where these are. And because our i3D is in the same directory as the previous map, it's nice because right out of the map i3D we've got the textures folder and then terrain. So it's textures terrain, so that is correct. It's in the right spot. Luckily, I didn't even notice that. But do, on your case, verify the directories so that you know that this thing is pointing to the right diffuse. So what is the problem here? It said something about my normal wasn't there. So let's have a look. Which normal now wasn't there? Terrain, beach sand. I've got 2, 4, 6, 7. Beach sand 04 normal. It's gone. I haven't copied that over. So oh my word. Beach sand 04 diffuse. Beach sand 04 normal. I forgot to copy that. You probably saw that and was laughing while I was doing that. Okay, so that was the only problem, guys. I forgot to, or missed that there should be 8. Do check that you have 8 textures. And now we can open the map. And now we should have a beach sand loaded without any errors. And we will verify that now in our terrain layer. If beach sand is there. Once the map is opened. Okay, you are my witnesses. There are no errors. So that means our beach sand should be here under terrain editing. We should be able to find beach sand here. It's at the bottom. Remember, we added at the bottom of the list. There it is, beach sand combined, and we should have beach sand. The four beach sand textures. All right, so it's all there. And we should now actually see the weight. The weight should now show for us. There it is. That's the beach sand weight. Nice, I like. So the weight is working. Alright, so what we can do now, just leave it be, because it is coloring where it should all be beach sand. Alright, so save the map. And now I want to show you, if I now go back to, I can close it, and I'll show you now that the editor has rearranged all the file IDs and stuff, given them new numbers and fit them in the right spot, because they were all connected in the right way. The ID and the terrain layer was in the right, the zeros and that make, say for instance it was 3900, the two things were the same, and then the editor will rename it and put it in the right spot. But when you get here, it's going to ask you to reload. So have a look now here on top of our file system. Here in the file ID section we have the stuff that we've added, but what's going to happen now if I reload it now? Whoop, you see now beach sand has got a new numbers. Control F, find beach sand. There it is, beach sand weight. You see the IDs has changed now, and it's fitted into the map, and everything is perfect. So that is how you add a texture to your map. Simple and easy. It takes you 2 minutes to do. Really, it's so easy to add textures. The other way in the editor to add a texture, I've actually made a video on that, a much easier way I called it, but by a word, it's actually a lot more work than this way. This is so fast to do it this way than the manual way that it's in the actual editor, you know, under the terrain layer editor. Oh my word, that's a long way of doing it. But I suppose for people who doesn't know editing the i3Ds, it actually makes more sense to do it that way, you know. But it's a lot of work. Oh my word, it's a lot of work. But anyway, let's not go into that now. Do notice, guys, the moment you save your i3D in the editor, it will add this asset here on top. Once you're done with your whole map and you've finished and you've done all your editing and you're ready to upload it, come and delete this asset like that and save the i3D, because that part doesn't need to be there. It's something that Giants write in there for some reason. I don't know why they put it in there, but it is there. Okay, alright, so that was beach sand and adding of that weight. Right, so all we need to do now is come back to our next one, which is City Asphalt. Now City Asphalt, I just want to see if there's any other asphalt. So let's just go through that: cliff rock, cobblestone, concrete, dirt grass, dummy weight, dusty rock, forest ground, granite yellow, grass, gravel weight, industrial mud is a blank one by the looks of it. It's just opened one. Yeah, industrial mud is not used. If a weight is empty, it just means the map creator didn't use the weight. Then that whole texture can actually be removed if you want to spend the time. You don't need that texture then in the map i3D, but I mean, it doesn't do any harm if it's there and it's blank. In fact, you don't have to bring it over. As you'll see in our next video, we're going to do the rest of them, I think, in the next video. Then I'll show you what to do and how to easily bring the rest of the stuff over, because cobblestone, I know it's in the French map, so that's easy to bring over. Cliff rock is in the French map, dirt grass is in US map, forest ground is in French map. Granite yellow, we don't have a granite yellow, so that is a question mark, but we'll do that in the next video. Grass we have, gravel we have, industrial mud. Yeah, industrial mud is not used, so that we're going to leave. We're not going to bother with that. Mountain rock is in the French map. Pig mud we're not going to use. Plate is in the French map, I believe, or in Alpine map. and rough grass and rough dirt. Right, rough grass and rough dirt. Rough grass, yeah, we'll see. Rough grass and rough dirt, I'm sure we can manage that. But I think this is, where's the one with the most? Dirt grass. Dirt grass has got the most on the, most textures on the whole map is dirt grass. Anyway, we will get to that later on in the next video, guys. So I think we've got enough scope here for one video. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I hope you're excited. What you can do is, if you're busy creating or converting a map, you can follow the same procedure whilst we're going through our map, and then just copy do, you know, or watch, pause, do, as I always tell the guys. So watch a bit, do it on your side, and unpause and carry on, watch a bit, pause again and do again, you know, that type of thing. Great. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate, and you guys are awesome. Thanks to all my Patreons. You guys are really a big blessing in my life. I really appreciate each one of you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Cheers.